All right, what's going on, hey everybody? Today we're gonna work on some stuff that I've had a lot of requests for. Basically tying knots. Really, it's 4 knots that I utilize in everyday situations while I'm out on the water. You know, whether it be building out my leader, adding segments for nymph rigs or dry dropper sections. Tying my flies on. You know, you have the time now with the stay-at-home orders and all this stuff. Tie these knots while you're inside. Get comfortable manipulating the material, not having to deal with all the exterior elements or the outdoor elements is a good thing. And again, just building your dexterity and being familiar with the steps of the knots. So the knots we'll be tying will be the blood knot, the triple surgeons, the improved clinch knot, and the Davy knot, or the figure 8 knot. Anyway, let's just get right into these knots. Okay, so as far as materials go, I just want to give you or utilize some stuff that actually you can see. But again, I don't want to go super thick or use anything like rope or string, mainly because I want to give you the idea or the sense, the visual sense of what it's like to work with the actual material, monofilament, either nylon, fluorocarbon. Nylon is a little softer, a little more supple. Fluorocarbon is going to be a little stiffer, but I'm using basically cider material right here. So this cider material is going to have a similar effect, meaning that it's gonna be a little bit stiff, you know, and I'm running 0.013, which is, you know, pretty stout, so you can see it as far as the video goes. So, okay, so I got the tippet side, the chartreuse, which will be my tippet in my right hand. I got the leader end, which will be on my left hand in the fluorescent red. And so what I'm gonna do is I am going to cross the leader end over my tippet. And I'm just going to pinch everything in my left hand in an X shape, right? So it's coming through, this is coming across, the leader's on top of the tippet. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist the leader over my tippet end here. And I'm pushing the leader over and away from me, wrapping over the tippet, just like so. So I'm going to utilize my middle and ring finger here, and hold the material as I bring it around. And I can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish. I don't need to go any more than that really with this diameter material. And then I'm just going to bring it in between the 2 tags here, the tippet tag and the leader itself. Now at this point, I'm going to bring my tippet tag over in my direction. Basically, this continues the direction of the twist of the previous side. So I'm just going to bring that, again, utilizing my middle finger and ring finger to help hold material. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And on this upper end, I will go basically a half turn over. Now, if you notice, I had everything pinched in my right hand, thumb, and forefinger, and I'm keeping that because it preserves that little loop that's right there. You can see that? And then I can feed my tag right through that little loop. Now once I got it in there, all I need to do is pull on my leader, straighten that out, make sure on this end I can pull that there, straighten that out, my tippet, and then I'm just holding everything. I got the leader in my hand here, I got my thumb and index finger free, and I got my tippet in the palm of my right hand. Again, thumb and index finger holding the mess together basically. So I can grab that, and I'll grab that tag, and I'll just hold it, and as long as you cinch it and snug it a bit, it'll hold, it won't go anywhere. So at this point, you can spit on it, lick it, whatever. I don't really need to. It's when you yank on a knot that creates a lot of friction. That heat generated by that friction is what weakens the knot. However, if you just pull slow and if you did your knot correctly, it should seat all together without generating all that excess heat, which weakens your monofilament, your tippet material. You don't need to pull your tags or anything on the blood knot. And why I like it as far as a leader building type knot is you can trim your tags nice and tight to the body of the knot. You don't need to worry about leaving a little bit of a tag just in case the knot slips or anything like that. And that is your blood knot. Next knot we're going to do is the triple surgeons. Now again, as far as leader building, adding tippet material, this is one of my preferred ones because it's pretty simple, and when you get into thinner diameter tippet material, it's actually very strong. I would consider it stronger than the blood knot. So pretty easy knot. Basically it's an overhand type knot. You got your tippet, leader. What I do is I just overlap the two, and then all I do is I pinch them together, thumb and forefinger on both hands, and then I just bring my thumb tips or my fingertips together, just so it forms a loop. Again, the cross, the tippet is going to cross behind the leader side, if you kind of understand that. What I'm going to do is just give a little more material, make a bigger loop so you guys can see this a little more easily. Okay, so we got the loops. And at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed the end of the leader and the tippet into the loop. So again, continuing, I got it crossed in the back, continuing over into the loop, pull both tags through. And notice I got enough of a loop here that I can pull both of the materials through and not be impeded. So again, that's 2, and if you notice, my tags have gotten shorter over here. And it's going to be kind of difficult to feed those through and have them hold. So what I'm going to do, keeping my loop pinched in my left hand here, is I'm just going to draw it down a little bit more. And notice as I come through, I can pinch my material in my left hand here. And that'll give me the opportunity to come from behind the loop and pull that material through. So once I got that there, I want to make sure my loops are the same size. So I can draw one of these, the tippet or the leader tag, down and just make that uniform. Once I got everything lined up, I can just pull both tags to tighten the knot. But just be sure to pull all your tags in order to tighten this knot down. Now this knot is also utilized, or I like utilizing it when I'm tying in my tags. So again, the leader side, this would be my tag here going to my flies. It would be obviously longer, 6 to 8 inches, but that is what your tag is going to be from. And then, but being that we're just going to use this as our leader knot, building out the leader, I can go ahead and trim down all my tags. You can go fairly close to the knot. Boom. Okay, so that's your triple surgeons there. Okay, next knot we're going to do is the knot, one of the knots that I like to utilize when I'm tying my flies onto my tippet. So again, just keeping in with the program I have, the chartreuse or yellow line is going to be our tippet. And I'm actually going to use the scissor loop here just so you can see it. It's going to simulate the eye of a hook. Alright, so I got the tippet in my left hand. I'm just going to feed it through the eye. And then at this point, again, this is the improved clinch knot. We're going to do a number of twists. So I got it through the eye once. You can go twice if you like. That's a bit of an old school move there, if you will, just to streamline it and simplify and make it a little easier. I just go once and I find it's strong enough. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just go ahead and pinch it here with my thumb and forefinger, and I'm just going to twist the tag around the main tippet side, or the leader, if you will. Now 2, 3, 4, you can go 5. I find 4 keeps the strength well enough. Now if you notice, I got a little loop right at the back here. I'm taking the tag, feeding it through the loop, and then at this point I can pinch it all in my left hand here, just holding everything stable, and then I can push with my thumb or my fingertip, index finger, right through the loop here. Once I got it through the loop, grab it with my right hand, hold it tight, and really what I do is I just pull on everything just to cinch it down. Once you got it to that point, you can just pull your leader, the main tippet, and draw that knot down to the eye. And then what you want to do is pull on that tag either with your teeth or hemostat or forceps or whatever. And as long as you got everything drawn down tight, you're good to go. So notice that knot does cinch down against the eye nice and tight there. And that's what you want to have. I do prefer this knot when I tie to the shank of a hook for my dropper, running dry dropper legs or inline nymph rigs. Just that cinching aspect allows it to hold tight to the hook shank and prevents your dropper from flying off. So another good one. And then once you got that done, come in, you can hold your tippet away, expose the tag, trim that down. You can trim it fairly tight to the knot, and you're good to go. So that's the improved clinch knot there. Right, and lastly, one that I probably get the most requests as far as how to tie it, where they can find more tutorials, is the figure 8 knot, aka Davy knot. This is one that I learned when I first started competing back in 1997. Basically, it's a competition knot. The speed and simplicity of it has everything to do with why I utilize it most times in competition, and even when I'm fishing on my own. It is a fairly strong knot. There's a lot of publications out there, or many publications out there, that knock it as being a subpar, if not even the weakest knot that's available or you can tie, but I really actually find it to be fairly strong in real world conditions, meaning when it's wet, when you're fishing it. I find that sometimes my surgeon's knot, blood knot will fail before the Davy knot. So, and truthfully, I had the privilege of learning this knot from Mr. Davy Noton himself while he was our international coach on the youth team. So, so how we're going to start this here is we're going to just bring the tippet. Again, I have the tippet in my left hand. I'm holding the fly in my right hand. I'm going to bring the tippet right through the bottom of the eye, like so. And how I like to do it, and just keeps all my orientation correct, is at that point, I'll flip the hook upside down. Now you can insert it through the top or the bottom inverted, but I don't know, I'd rather do this. So, so when I insert it through, flip it upside down, it creates the loop. And now I just, holding everything, pinching the tag with my thumb and middle finger, I can just use my index finger here and push the tag over, and then just rotate it all the way back into, basically creating an overhand knot. And at that point, I can just continue and pushing with my index finger, push that tag away from the loop and down underneath, and then come up from behind. So I can move this just to make sure that I can bring that tag up from behind. Hopefully y'all can see that. And once I got that tag there, I'll hold it. Once I got that tag held in my tippet, or my fingertips there, I can just pull the tippet. Notice it creates a figure 8. And that's hence another reason why it's called the figure 8 knot. But hold that tag, draw it down tight, and I just felt it kind of click. And that's when you know it's locked in. At that point, you can let it go here and then pull and just make sure everything's snug. That's all you got to do. Don't pull the tag, because when you pull that tag, it actually pops it out of configuration, and then you lose your knot. You can trim it, but if you get proficient enough, and as far as competition, I've been able to keep that tag extremely short to where I don't need to cut the tag. And so bring your tag through, flip your hook upside down, bring your tag behind through the loop, down underneath, and notice I'm not letting anything go. Pinch your tag here, and then just draw it down. Once you got it there, again, if your tag's short, you don't necessarily need to clip your tag. That's a little long. So show you this in real time, because it's pretty fast. Feed the tippet through the bottom, flip the hook upside down, run it through, come from behind the loop, hold it down, and that's it. All right, so those are the few knots that I really utilize when I'm out on the water, building leader, tying flies onto the tippet. You know, really that's down to four knots. Blood knot, triple surgeon's knot, improved clinch knot, and the Davy knot. Alright, so all you Patreon subscribers, you're getting this video ahead of everybody else, which is great. That subscription is minimal. and I hope you do subscribe. Helps me create this content with all your support. And as far as watching this on YouTube, you'll probably see this a week after the Patreon subscribers get it. And but yeah, I would appreciate if you just like the video, subscribe, hit the bell, do all that stuff. Let's try to get this channel to grow here this year. Hopefully you guys are getting out and fishing a little bit, practicing social distancing, being safe out there. And you know, if it's if you're totally on lockdown, I know some states are, they won't even let you fish. Some countries are as well. You know, just stay at home, tie knots, tie flies. I'll try to bring you more videos to get you through it all. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching, and we will catch you around the next time. Take care.